Oh, Burrows! Billy. Come on, man. It's not hard. What's happening here? Well, as you know, mate, light up. We better go through the ritual, mate. Yeah, spot sooty. Yeah. We know what time it is. It's probably a little bit late, mate. Or a little bit early, depending which way you use. Yeah, depending which way you want to interpretate it. I'm a little bit late, but for some it's probably a little bit early, but it's that time. We're going to spin up an 11 1/8 DT, mate. Now you can tell it's 1/8 DT by what's called the traditional 1/8 DT long timer. Look how long it is, mate. Jared, it's a good length, eh? So that's 1/8 DT, but you can see, mate, we've got this XL stamp because it's a 1/8 DT 11mm. Yeah, I know this, everyone they lose their mind over this. What the heck? What do you mean? Well, 1/8 DT 11mm is actually a better pump than a 12mm for the big ends of the motor, for the engine design, for the offset piston bowl, for the early, I guess we can say it's a primitive direct injected motor still. So we've gone and made it better. Now Denso and Toyota, they didn't understand. They didn't know what they were doing. But Billy knows. Well, he pretends to. So anyway, we've got an 11 head into it. Now what that does for the DT, mate, I'll grab you over here, mate. What that does is the injection rate is not as harsh, does not hammer the bearings, and we do not make it have as much dynamic timing. Come over here. 1/8 DTs have a massive cam plate, mate, big 12mm head, and their dynamic timing is pretty much, it's stupid. They run too much dynamic for the motor. And that's why they hammer big end bearings out. You can sit here and argue with me all you want. That's what they do. We've been doing these for a while now, and we nearly half the dynamic, and we changed the cam plate profile, and well, we put a 3920, mate. That's a dirty old TD. Jared, you keeping up? That's a TD head. You understand that, right? And then yeah, we've had insane results. Oil samples. Guys have pulled the motors down, and we've run them back to backs with 12mm pumps on them, and you can already see the damage on the top of the shells with a 12mm pump with the same dynamic. Keep up. And the same fuel, you can already see the wear on the top of the big end shells with a 12 versus an 11. So these are becoming pretty damn popular pump. He might have had a little bit of involvement in doing the R&D here, and a few other guys. We just like drinking beers and spinning the pumps. We don't really like going outside this, this 23 degrees. Do you get me? So we try to do our magic in here and let everyone else do their part. So yeah, it's a bit of a team effort on these, but I want to show you how good of a pump they are all round. So yeah, we've sort of, I guess we've covered the fact we halve the dynamic and we're changing the head out and not as harsh injection duration, etc. But they're still a good pump for horsepower. Do you get me? We'll spin her up. Why don't I spin you up and just show you rather than... Billy, can you get the right way, mate? We'll just show you a bit of fuel CCs, a bit of timing, etc. It might be all too much for you, Jared, to understand, but can you just try and keep up, mate, all right? I'll keep it simple. Whereas we're going to do a techie in under a beer here on a 1/8 DT11. Righto. A couple of pumps there we've got to spin up, but they're nowhere near as cool as a 1/8 DT11. Now this is an automatic too, so how cool is that? An automatic 11mm 1/8 DT. Righto, so we're doing a whole 50 cc's of no boost, right? Now that's pretty much standard. Look, they're pretty lean. We sort of sneak it a bit for a DT. You got to keep in mind, mate, DTs don't burn all that clean. So you give them fuel, they don't make much horsepower, and they just smoke. So you got to understand. You got to really understand how to make the horsepower on a DT and still keep it clean. So Billy still don't get it right. So try not to listen to Billy. Yeah. The good thing with these, mate, is again we sort of half the dynamic timing that a factory DT pump will like. We still have pretty angry flare. I'll show you, mate. Let's just get out of the way, Billy. You're in the way. I'll show you. We'll just rev up a bit of flare. So they've got a fair bit of flare still. You you get it. Yeah, that's all timing. You can see all that there. But we have what it should have compared to the factory plan. Billy, you are really getting in the way today, mate. Now, they're still an awesome pump. They'll still punch 140 odd cc's of fuel without us even having to work for it. So on a 1H DT, sorry, Billy, I hurt your feelings. You can come back. Shut it down, mate. So on a 1H DT, 140 cc's, you can do the math. They do about the 1.7. It's still well over a 200 horsepower pump. So 1H DTs just don't really do much better over that. The engines as such, not really the pump's limitation. The nozzles don't really become restrictive either. So they're a bit of a mongrel motor, mate, for trying to make horsepower and keep them clean. So everyone's really liking the 11s, and look, we don't mind getting involved in trying to do them for people because it really looks after the big ends. Anyone that's wanting a standard pump with an 11, it's purely looking after your big end bearings. Anyone wanting a horsepower pump doesn't want to be doing their big end bearings every 60,000. Start looking into the 11s, guys, because they're proving really good. It's all down to timing, Jared, and injection duration or injection timing. So big cam plates, aggressive cam plates are good. They make horsepower. You need them for direct injected motors. That's how you make a TD42, 12mm, etc. We all know that. But you want to try and make power and hold it together, like the engine, Jared. Hold the engine together, not us in here. We're clinically insane. Hold the motor together. Sometimes you really got to think outside the box, and a D-stroke, that's all it needs, mate. On that note, I'm going to keep spinning this up. So this is the 140 top, as you've seen. We're going to limit this back a bit, mate. So I think we're going to limit this back to about 110 cc's worth of top fuel. Still keep that no boost and mid rate there. It's got a Tillich medium in there. Don't know if you can see it, but just believe me, that's what we run, mate, nothing else. It's got the Tillich 5, of course. I think this one's got the same combo, but that's a 12 1.8Z. So effectively, that's a 1.8 DT and a 1.8 Z, and this is, of course, the TD42 and a 1.8 DT. What are we doing? Hold it together.